Okay, so for this video, we are doing a top-down approach to tech. Okay, we will be doing a multi-time frame analysis, looking at multiple time frames to form possible scenarios that we can look at moving forward dito sa specific issue na to. Okay, iiwasan ko po to talk about warrants, SRO, or other fundamentals because I am going to focus on the technicals for this particular video. If you want to learn more about yung fundamentals, let me know sa comment section and maybe we can make a different video for that, no? Now, whenever I do multi-time frame analysis, I like to start at the highest time frame that makes sense. In the case of tech, I start sa 3-month time frame kasi, or sa quarterly time frame kasi, ang konti pa lang nung candles eh. It started at 2011. So I don't need to see a yearly chart, 'di ba? To have a bigger picture because kasyang-kasya na nga dito, ilan lang yung mga kandila eh, 'di ba? Also, for the sake of speed, okay, para hindi sobrang haba tong video, I've taken the liberty of drawing out the Fibonacci levels and I've taken the liberty of drawing out yung initial opening price. Bakit initial opening price? One of the things I noticed kasi over the years is whenever, okay, that price returns do sa initial opening price niya, usually may tendency na magkaroon na reaction doon. That reaction can either be positive or negative depending on where price currently is, but usually merong reaction. So I usually tend to take note of them, especially when I'm trying to do multi-time frame analysis. Etong fib, makikita nyo, drawing ko lang siya for the sake of putting it there. Pero makikita nyo naman na hindi natin siya magagamit right now, at least not in this time frame. Kasi yung next significant level at 38.2, medyo ang layo pa eh. Diba? So I'm going to remove it for now. Now, ano yung mga levels na nag-i-stand out sa akin dito? Okay? First is yung low. Yun yung pinakamadali. Ano yung lowest low natin? That's 3.47. Okay? That's the lowest we've ever been. So we take note of that. Next is kung saan nauuntog ang price. I don't look at this as a whole kasi parang untrappish tignan at least from this time frame. So what I do is I identify yung previous level of support, which is this. I look for the lowest one, which is this, and we draw a level there. Okay? Now, if you want to know more how I select my levels, you can check out yung video ko from before na about mapping your charts, no? Now, let's also take note of the high just so we know it's there. Okay, so from this casual observation, mapapansin natin agad na what happened was price dropped severely and from there, we're consolidating. Diba? Yun muna. Huwag muna tayo mag-isip ng ibang observation. Wala munang reversal na ba yan or anything. Wala muna. Simple lang. Bearish dahil price fell, then it's consolidating. In the same view na kapag a price moved up, tas nag-consolidate, what do we usually think? Bumibuelo lang yan para tumaas pa. Ganon din kapag bumabaksak. Bumaksak, nag-consolidate, pwede rin nating isipin na bumibuelo lang yan para bumaba pa. At least looking at it from this time frame. Then we move down sa monthly. From here, okay, we can tighten the range further. So the lowest here is 4.84, no? So let's just put a level right there. Just to note na meron tayong tighter range na nagfo-form. Ano pa ang pwede nating mapansin from this time frame? What catches my eye is etong candle na to. So let's put a mark on it para lang clear. Etong candle na to basically traps the entire range where the price has been moving, no? So what I do is I mark out that area. Okay? Para lang pagbaba ko sa lower time frame, maalala ko ano yung range na tinitingnan ko and I can try to segment that range into workable segments or sections na pwede kong hanapan ng trade ideas. But again, for now, sa monthly time frame, it's just confirming yung nakita natin sa quarterly time frame na price is currently consolidating. Again, hindi natin masasabi na may sign of bullishness here kasi price fell and we never really broke above any key levels dito sa time frame na to. Diba? So, let's move down sa weekly time frame. And here, you will actually notice etong gun box. So, it's set for, ito yung 0, 100%, no? So, 75, 50, 25%. So, parang quinarter ko lang yung range in quarters, no? Equal quarters. You will see na in a lot of cases, yung mga sinegment natin, nag-hold siya as either support or resistance. In this area, nag-hold siya as resistance, nag-hold as support, nag-hold as resistance, diba? Nag-hold as support and resistance, and so on. Of course, it's not gonna be tick perfect, no? Kasi we essentially figured out segmentations of the range just from one candle from a higher time frame. So it's not gonna be perfect, but it is gonna be something that we can try to form trade ideas around. Okay? Now, when we get to etong mga lower time frames, that's when I try to take, let's just say, more notice ng mga candlestick patterns. Sa higher time frames, it's all about structure, no? Now, dito sa lower time frame, what can we see? Dito sa weekly. Obviously, very bearish pa rin, no? We had this bearish engulfing candle here. Okay? Wala man lang sense of negation. We didn't hold dito. So, ito yung last area of resistance before we broke higher, di ba? Itong area nito, which was 5.71. What happened was, nagkaroon tayo ng bearish engulfing. It held there, pero it immediately broke and then we moved lower. Okay, in fact, today, ang close ng tech was a mock-up. So, from 5.14 or 5.16, we jumped up to 5.3, no? So, from here, the overall view is still bearish. Okay? You can argue na, teka, may hammer tayo dito. But, yes, you're right, it's a hammer. But, number one, the week's not done yet. It's only Monday. And number two, we have to consider the location. Okay? Is it really in a prime location? For me, it's not. If it is for you, then good for you. Diba? But for me, personally, it's not. And then we move down to the daily time frame. But before we do pala, let's see if we can mark out any specific area. So let's mark out this area here, no? Let's mark out this area here. Yan yung last na high before we push down again. Okay? And then for me, there's no other significant na area na kailangan tignan. Meaning, if we broke above this, then yes, I would be more bullish. Diba? But if price just dances here, then we know it's trapped within this range. Okay? And then let's move down to the daily time frame. And this is where I scrunch up my charts. And the reason I do this, okay, may nag-comment sa akin na, bakit tinitignan mo lahat minsan yung action nandito lang sa right side? And the reason for that is, nasanay na kasi ako, I don't like looking at charts na isang portion lang kapag daily time frame or lower. I like looking at the bigger picture because I like remembering what I'm looking at. I like remembering the structure na nakita ko sa higher time frame to a degree. Yes, I mapped out my charts, but even though the map is there, I personally can still tend to forget stuff. So, this is how I like doing it. If you remember everything naman, and then good for you, and you can do it in a different way, no? So, from here, okay, what can we see? First, before we go to there, let's just quickly note, no? So, 3-month na time frame, bearish. Yung mga nakita natin. 1-month na time frame, bearish. Actually, mas tama na bearish / ranging kasi nga nagko-consolidate, no? Then sa weekly na time frame, bearish. Okay? Kasi if we look at it again before we move on, what happened? bumagsak lang siya eh. So we can't honestly say na it's ranging or anything because in this time frame, all it did was go down. Okay? Alright. Yan, lakihan ko lang ng konti for the sake of the video, no? So ito yung tinitignan natin. Higher time frames, we're mostly bearish / ranging. Okay? So, pagbaba ko ng daily time frame, ang papasok agad sa utak ko is kung i-trade ko man to, and this is just me because I don't hold ng sobrang tagal. Gusto ko ilang araw or basta panandalian lang, ilang linggo lang. So kapag gano'n ang tinitignan ko, ang pumapasok sa utak ko agad is, okay, I'm looking for range trades. But that's just me. Again, if you're looking for reversals, iba yung usapan. But me personally, kung ganito na quarterly, monthly, weekly, lahat bearish to ranging, then that's what I'll be looking for, potential range trades. I won't be looking for this to go all the way back up dito sa opening price or higher. Diba? Kasi nga, range trade eh. Dahil yun yung nakasulat, yun yung, kung ang higher time frame ang nagko-control ng lower time frames, then that means na dapat kahit na meron akong slightly bullish bias man, which I'm not saying I do, dito sa tech, then dapat controlled pa rin yung expectations ko. Okay? Now, let's look closer at the daily time frame. Sa daily time frame, what happened? Okay? Ito yung mga previous lows. Meron tayong low here, no? Itong tweezer bottom ba yun? Kung ano man tawag nila dyan. Basta may low tayo dito. So sorry, no, hindi ako magaling sa pangalan ng mga patterns or candlesticks. I've never bothered remembering them because you don't need to. All you need to do is remember the structure that you're looking for. Now, we closed as a hammer dito sa daily. Okay, but even though we closed as a hammer, what can we observe? Ako, napupunta agad yung mata ko na meron tayong more or less area dito na hindi pa niya nababasag, no? So, etong areang to, hindi pa niya nababasag. Yes, may overshoot tayo dito, but even if you pulled this here, siya yung resistance, support, and so on, no? So, it's a significant level. So, yes, meron kang hammer, but you never broke above yung previous structure lows. So, maaari na itong push na to, maaari lang naman na mauntog na siya dito. What would change my mind? Obviously, if we can close firmly above this and start trading above this, then since meron tayong isang maliit na segment dito, 'di ba? From yung green to yung black na bar dito, yung thin black bar. Since meron tayong maliit na segment, then one of the possibilities is it starts trading above this, then we can push towards the higher end of that range. So from 5.3 papunta sa mga 5.7, 'di ba? 5.34 to 5.7. Obviously, it's not a great trade, no? But yun yung isa sa mga pwedeng mangyari na maglaro tayo within that range. Kasi we did try to reach for the bottom end of the range. Diba? Inabot natin kanina 4.96. The bottom as we determined was around 4.89? 4.89. So we weren't far off. We were 7 cents off, no? So it's possible na we push higher from here. Mauntog tayo dito. But in order to say na, sige, nas bullish tayo, then I want to see it break the segments. So, whenever I try to form scenarios, number 1, I consider this. Number 2, I try to consider what would happen if X becomes Y and Y becomes Z and so on. So, let's picture that out right now, no? So, if I had the bullish tilt, again, I'm not saying I do. This is not trading advice. This is not investment advice. This is just merely an educational tool and we're trying to read the chart lang. Yun lang, okay? Breakout. If this holds here, like this, then we're thinking na, okay, maybe it will go here and we can target there. Okay? What's next? If price breaks out from where we are, let's say it does this, then we start trading around here, like does this, does that. Then maybe this range here becomes the next tradable range. it's not entirely inconceivable kasi nga ang lakas ng baksak eh. Walang salo-salo dito, parang biglang bumuhos lang eh. So hindi nakakagulat na parang ganito, mabilis umangat, mabilis din nabasag pababa. So ngayon na mabilis nabasag pababa, kung bumalik man dito at merong momentum talaga, hindi rin nakakagulat if mabilis din yung pagtulak pataas. 'Di ba? If that's the case, then maybe we're looking at the range from 5.7 to 6.5, more or less, no? Which is a more decent area to possibly work with. Okay? But just because we have the range doesn't mean that we ignore yung mga levels na nagpo-form along the way. So like here, merong obvious na level na nag-form dito, no? Na nag-form dito. Previous resistance, turn support, dyan tayo nag-breakdown. So pwede tayo mauntog din dyan on the way up. So ganun lang. I try to form scenarios, okay? Since meron tayong bearish to ranging sa higher time frames, I will not force the issue and try to look for a to the moon, quote-unquote, na trade. I will look at possible ranging scenarios, okay? Try to picture them in my mind para if and when they do happen, ready ako. If they don't, alam ko rin na wala akong dapat gawin. Diba? Then from there, if mag-exceed ng expectation, okay? Mag-exceed ng expectation yung mangyari. Let's say bukas, because of some news or another, biglang from here, mag-open tayo at 5.3, so divided by 2, ano ba yun? 2.65. So, 7.95. So, sabihin natin mag-open tayo na 7.95 or 7.9, no? Biglang mag-gap up, mag-ceiling. Diba? So, obviously, that we open up here, way up there. Diba? So, pag ganon, it exceeded my expectation. More than exceeded my expectation. Pag ganon, obviously, we reassess. Kasi, ibig sabihin nun, na initial thesis, hindi nagagana. Diba? May nangyari na outside of your scope of analysis, so you have to change your view. But until then, we know that the higher time frames are dictating na mas bearish tayo than bullish and that we are currently trapped within a range. Okay? So I hope nakatulong sa inyo tong multi-time frame analysis natin sa tech. Okay? Kung holders kayo because of yung previous news, then I wish you all the luck. I always like it kapag kayong mga traders, lahat kumikita. Siyempre, hanggat kaya naman, we don't want to wish ill of other people, di ba? So just respect your stops, maintain your discipline, and as long as you're doing that, you'll be fine. Okay? Kung nakabili naman kayo sa baba, kakapasok nyo lang, good luck din. I hope you all the best. I hope this pushes higher from here. Okay? So, with that, kung nakatulong sa inyo tong video na to, I would really appreciate it if you hit the like button and maybe subscribe to my channel. Okay, and as always, good luck and happy trading.